Welcome to the New York Giants franchise here in Madden 26. Now last year I did a franchise with the Las Vegas Raiders. It ended up being one of the most fun seasons of a football series I've put out. And then I just didn't continue the second season. I had a child and life hit and work hit and it just didn't end up working out. This year I really want to try hard again with Madden, especially with my current USA Dynasty in College Football 26 going well, and I'm really enjoying that. And I have some players I want to put potentially into this current draft class that we're going to have. I'm really excited to get started with this. Some things I want to change as we go ahead and select the New York Giants here, 79 overall, 3-14 record last season. Not looking like it'll get much better this year. Rebuilding team with $20 million of cap space. One thing I really want to emphasize is getting this series moving faster. I want to simulate some games. I want to maybe not play full entire games as I've kind of been doing in my USA Dynasty. I really just want to move through the seasons quicker and see more things happen. So for this series, I'm going to be creating a defensive genius, and that's because we are creating James McIntosh from the Olympia Raiders to be the head coach of this franchise. Of course, James McIntosh, star cornerback, made a lot of plays, a lot of interceptions, started from freshman season on, and he will be our coach. And here is Mr. McIntosh, of course, fresh off a really solid NFL career, ready to take over the Giants. Now, I'm going to be running the Giants playbook in year one, probably tweaking some things, but trying to keep this series close to the base playbooks as possible. So let's go ahead and jump into it. And here are the settings we're going to be using for this series. All Madden simulation, of course, 12 minutes with 15-second minimum play clock time. And then for training and everything, everything's manual in this series. I never like to do anything automated. The trade type, we're going to enable all. Trade difficulty, I'm starting with very hard. We'll see on this and I'll tweak it if it doesn't feel very fair. And then free agent motivation impact will also be very high. This one's going to stay for sure. I want players to want to go where they want to go because of the reasons they have. Relocation is disabled. Meanwhile, everything else is on except for coach firing, which I have set to CPU only because I don't really want to deal with that. I want to play the series out. I'm not trying to bounce around the league. And we will be starting here in preseason, so let's go ahead and get started. I wanted to start week one, but I don't know what it'll do when simulating. So we'll go ahead and jump into this, and already we've got a coach interview. Let's go ahead and give this one.
The dawn of a new season brings the dawn of a new era for this franchise. There's a new coach in charge, tasked with guiding this team to the peak of the NFL. Someone with dreams of reaching Canton. This first day and their first interview will set the stage for a career to come.
This is so goofy. I might be better than last year. It might be worse, honestly. I'm not really sure, but that is so ridiculous. Why do I need narration? Just make a good sim. Alright, you come into league as one of the brighter defensive minds. Where will your defense have the biggest edge on offenses? Pass coverage. Now, I really think it's actually pass rush, but this is James McIntosh we're talking about here, so I want to skew everything towards cornerbacks and defense, or defensive backs rather. So we're going to be blanketing receivers and giving opposing quarterbacks nowhere to throw. Yep, good with that. Moving more to off the field, what have you emphasized as needing to be a big focus? This is going to be player development. Definitely want to make sure our players are developing faster than the rest of the league, so we're going to put that. We have to develop players, plain and simple. Great teams have great players, blah, 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 blah. Which area are you looking to prioritize? Cornerbacks, absolutely. You have to be able to stop the pass in today's game, so developing our corners has been a priority. Now, again, this team's strength is its edge rush, but an interior rush. It's entire defensive line, but we're going to try to basically blanket coverage here, and we'll see what happens. You have to be able to cover. If you can't cover, it's going to be hard to win. I plan on us putting a blanket on opposing offenses. And the good news is that can be buoyed a little bit by the defensive line's pass rushing ability. You can't get a lot of pass yards if you are being pressured very fast. I just think it needs to be implemented a little better. And then we've got a position battle. Let's see who this is for. This is so ridiculous. Surprised you're not in pads. We've got practice in a few. Kayvon Thibodeau. Before we get into it, I wanted to talk about my place on the depth chart. I really believe I'm one of the best linebackers on this team. I'd like a chance to start this year. What do you think? Alright, start preseason strong. I'm not opposed to starting Thibodeau over Abdul. I just want to see who does better to start this year because I know Abdul's going to be getting rotational snaps anyway. either a sack or at least 5 tackles. That is what starters can do each week, and every week I expect nothing less. I'm not opposed to starting Thibodeau here. Whatever I need to do, coach, if you can get me to the drives, get me the drives, I'll prove myself a starter. Alright, so if Thibodeau gets 5 tackles or a sack, he will be starting week 1 of the regular season. Now, we don't have to keep him starting is the thing. And for the purposes of this build, I'm going to fire our defensive coordinator. I want to bring in my own guy. I will let the offensive coordinator be who it is. But let's try to bring in here Emmanuel Ortega. It looks like his unlocked abilities is a split of defensive, development, and scout. Whereas we can look more towards development here. But I think this is our best option available. So we're going to try to hire him. And we bring him in. Let's start over with the new offensive coordinator as well, just to get a fresh start here. And it looks like Brian Dable can come in as our offensive coordinator. Well, I have to. James McIntosh kicks Dable out of the head coach spot. And we bring in Brian Dable as our new offensive coordinator. I love it. That is the best possible scenario. Awesome. Level 27 trainer, we'll stick with that. And we'll do a drill here with normal development, Jaxson Dart. Now, I think I have to get at least gold in this drill to unlock Dart's chance to be hidden development, or I guess star in this case, because we already know he's normal. And I got sacked, but that's going to be it. I got silver. I think that's the best I can do. And unfortunately, that's not going to be enough to get a skill point. Or that might get a skill point. I don't think that'll get a dev increase. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. I've been saying Scatabo. I did not realize his name is Scataboo. We're going to take him, and we're going to try to maybe increase his dev. And silver is what we end up with. Now, can we get Evan Neal an upgraded dev trait? That would be pretty big. This is definitely an interesting drill. I like it. It's a little goofy. I definitely think gold's in the cards. And that's it. We got gold. Evan Neal a chance to get star development. That would definitely help his chances, because I don't think right now he would be the lineman of the future. No. Do you like star cornerbacks? How about having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to start this roster off? We'll take Drew Phillips here, the youngest of the bunch, and see if we can get him an upgrade to superstar by getting gold in this drill, which I know is not going to happen. But talk about a base starting for James McIntosh. No superstar corners, but decent ones. There's an interception, and we earn gold with the last play. Will that get superstar? No. Now we get a chance to do trench battle, the long haul with Abdul Carter. I thought about using Kayvon Thibodeau to see if I could get him the superstar, but I just think the chance of that is so low that we're going to try to reveal some of our dev increase here for Abdul. Come on, get off me! Get off! And that's going to be gold for Abdul Carter. Let's see what that gets him. 1 skill point. Now, for the purposes of this series, I'm not going to be playing the preseason. I'm going to sim it and see what players I need to cut. But the first thing I'm going to do is add some players in free agency. And we'll see after the preseason what the stats look like. Gotta have Stephon Gilmore. He's my boy. Bring him in and get him playing. I'm also going to sign Asante Samuel, who has not found a team yet. I think that's actually how it is in the real NFL as well. Still star development. Now, I know the injuries with him are pretty high. Only 90, actually. Not even that bad. So we're going to bring him in, see if we can develop him as well. Add him to a really star-studded cast of cornerbacks. But let's see what happened with the position battle. Actually, let's look at the stats from last game. And if we find Kayvon Thibodeau, he had 1 tackle, 0 sacks. So that's not going to get it done. We're not going to give him the starting job. And that's fine. I didn't really want to anyway, but I wouldn't have been opposed to it. We were looking for a lot more from you that game, Kayvon. I know I'm better than how I played out there, coach. I'll keep on it. Next time we review my film, it'll really show what I'm capable of. We have a position battle. Player wants to know what's next. Let's see what this is. Hey, coach, really been thinking about my development. I don't want to be the last look I get at earning the starting spot. I'm bringing a personal coach. What should I work on? Let's give him a run defense. All right. Good luck, Kayvon. What role are you most interested in us performing? I mean, I guess injury prevention, right? If players aren't getting injured in the first place, I don't need them to heal. Like that's always going to be useful. That's always going to be active. Healing factor will only be active if I have injuries. So who knows how useful that one would be. Malik Nabers has 2 skill points, and Nabers ratings are just all over the board good. 96 speed is insane. His catching's pretty solid. It could be better. His route running's really good. His release off the line is actually probably his weakest attribute, which is why I'm going to put points into deep threat here. 1 into deep threat, and I think I'll do 1 into physical. That's +2 deep route, no release though. And I think physical also gives you release, so let's try 1 into physical. And he does get +1 release, +3 catching, so really solid stuff there. Excited to see what he can do. Abdul Carter with the +2 here, and he's already almost dev revealed. I believe that's only helpful if he's superstar, but I would guess he's going to be superstar. And I definitely want him to be an every down rusher. So we're going to upgrade his run stopping, try to get him more well-rounded, and keep speed rush as his main scheme fit here. Asante Samuel, we're going to level up his zone coverage. Now, he is also temporarily boosted pretty heavily. So my cornerback group is really highly rated at the moment. I guess not last but least, we also have Jaxson Dart. And what can he do? Normal development. Love that little mark on his eye there. That's so crazy. Not the best throw power, but it's definitely serviceable. The accuracies past medium are not great. And then under pressure, definitely not the best either. He has the ability to scramble. I personally would prefer to upgrade his field general, just get his accuracies at a serviceable point where he can play backup and try to develop him as the long-term backup is my goal here. Now we can put little Deuce Vaughn on the practice squad, so we're going to sign him there. Definitely wouldn't mind having him. Similarly, UDFA Damian Martinez power back with better speed than Cam Scadaboo here. Definitely would not mind that. Let's sign him as well. Alright, I filled my practice squad out with more UDFAs. Does this show practice squad? It does. So now we can see that Deuce Vaughn, we got Martinez here, I believe, yeah, Damian Martinez, a much faster power back than Cam Scadaboo would be. We added some, why does it reset the menus every time? Isaiah Foskey. We added some young players here. Jake Moody, let go from the 49ers. Why not bring him in as a backup? And then we can even add another practice squad player later. So we'll see what we can do with all this. I really wanted to just have some players that I thought could back up. Tomlinson here, really agile playmaker at cornerback. Jones, very high zone. Same with Black here. Taylor, very high zone. So players that I thought could come in and step in. Barnes with high speed and pass coverage ability at linebacker. We'll see what happens. And finally for this video, I will be adding to my draft class Kentrell Bullock and Devin Boyson from the USA Dynasty. Now I know they haven't gone pro yet, and I don't know if they'll go pro in the Dynasty. That's fine. I'll just do my best at placing them. But they've been so fun to play with. I need to see them in this series. Now I don't plan to take them. First of all, wide receiver and running back, not positions of need for our team really. I just want to see them in the universe and see what they can do. So we'll add them, see what happens, and I hope that they have some fun careers that we can follow. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I know this might not be the most exciting one, just kind of wanted to get this out of the way, do the janitorial work. We are going to be running with this roster week 1. I do think I'll get Cam Scadaboo a lot of touches. Russell Wilson is my quarterback currently. Don't know what this team will do. The offensive line is bad. Everybody's bad on offense, really, other than Malik Nabers. But thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and make sure to follow the South Alabama Dynasty in College Football 26 to see where some of the players we'll be adding to this franchise came from. Have a good one.